Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. The Panthers kicker, Graham Gano, set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
We go tonight. 180. 2 for 1. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some tonight.
On first down, it's gone. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Throwing again on second down. Goff. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Goff now to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Goff now looking to throw. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. To throw is gone. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
20.
From the 50, Newton. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
This is something that we expected to see. McCaffrey used out of the backfield. 107 catches in 2018, the most in one season by an NFL running back.
Gun.
Now Newton on first down. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. After the interception, here's Goff. Flush to his right. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
180. No game on this defense. No game. Super.
Now Goff on first down. Buying time to his left. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's Goff. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The man wreaking havoc there, Gerald McCoy, the D tackle.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rolling to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Goff. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. But now it's 3rd and goal. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Goff. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go. Greg. What is
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
That's it. Watch the run.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there of 22.
Watch the slip.
First and 10, 27-yard line.
Look at it.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Go.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And he finds a man, it's Olsen. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, 33 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now Goff, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Gone. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Again, Goff. Forced out to his left. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Goff throwing again. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Great. 58, 58, Mike. Let's go one more. Safe. Rotate. Spell. Express. 8. 58 is a Mike. Go 58.
Out of the gun, Newton. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Newton. Being chased out left. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, That's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, under pressure again, and down he goes again.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Here's Newton. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now gone. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Hey, 76! 76! 76! Louis. Listen,
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jared Goff, 4 times last year, he led the Rams on a 4th quarter comeback. He out under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Flushed out right. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley. 28 yards. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it out past the 35. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
20.
On 3rd down, Newton shakes off the sack. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. The defense did their job. Fourth quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it because the offense has been yelling at him from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Goff on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Is there anything Luke Kuechly can't do on the field?
Doesn't seem to be the case.
I mean, we just saw the sack there, right? We know he's terrific in pass coverage, but what I like is his intelligence, the way he gets a defense set, and he actually audible defenses when he sees what the offense is presenting and get them into something else and get them into a better spot.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Tiger.
Goff now looking to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. He's got a man. Complete. A big play there for L.A. And even 40 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Here's Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Ric Flair. Check. Lucky. 2 for 1.
On 2nd and 12, Goff. This one to the left to Higbee. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 1st down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Come on now, let's go.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Hold on.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Now you three.
Goff. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards the pickup there. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. Tie game, 4th quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
Jumpy on the right side of the line. Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Gun. 58.
Now Newton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clay Matthews able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Banjo.
Newton.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
Watch out.
And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
That's a pretty strong return to start this overtime. And you know that if you run some decent offense, you should have a shot at a field goal. But I have to think to myself, I want the 6 points. I want this game over now. I don't want to give the other team a chance to come back and beat me.
Hey, here we go.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. Right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton eluding the pressure right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. First throw in overtime for Newton. And to the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Go. Go. 8. 8. 58, right over there. Right over there. Express. 58, right there. Rip right. Rip right. What is it? 58, boys. 58.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Back at the 36-yard line.
Number 7. On it. We ain't giving up nothing. 8. 8. 58. 58.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Pass it, and now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Carolina, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.